Hello, welcome to my channel. Hope you're having a great day. Today we will be reviewing ND filters. We'll be reviewing a couple of the ND filters that I have been using, and then the main thing we're going to be reviewing is these new split ND filters that Freewell came out with just a couple weeks ago. Very excited for that. And then also just reviewing what ND filters that I use. And if you're looking to buy ND filters, I'm going to give you my opinion on what you need and what you don't need, and why. So first, we're just going to go through and we're going to review the ND filters as a whole, and then we're going to compare what application that we're using those ND filters in and show a comparison from these ND filters versus these ND filters and why one ND filter is better than the other one. So hopefully you can make your own decision on what you need, but I think it's going to be a pretty easy decision from my experience. So we'll get started. The first and foremost, very excited about these Freewell split ND filters. So maybe a month ago, I did a video on the Mavic 3 as a whole, and I love 90% of what the Mavic 3 offers. I think it's a great drone. Love the zoom camera. I really use that a lot. I know there's some people that don't use the zoom camera, which I don't understand why not, but I use it a lot, and I love using that to cut to different scenes and just break up the videos that I'm shooting. So these are the ND filters that came with the combo kit. And as you can see here, the ND4, ND8, ND16, and ND32 filters is what comes with the Fly More kit. That's what I've primarily been using up to now. And the issue with that, I'm going to show a comparison video of kind of what I'm talking about. If we add an ND filter for the main camera, it automatically underexposes it for the zoom camera. That's what I want to show you in this video right now. So we'll cut to that and we'll come back and we'll discuss, yeah, you can see the comparison and kind of the issues. Okay, we're back. Hopefully that makes sense in looking at that video. As you can see in the, my aperture I had to set about 5, so I had the correct exposure. And when I switch to the zoom camera, you can see it's underexposed by, it's like 1.3. So that's kind of the issue I'm talking about with the ND filters that come with the DJI combo package. So now we're going to go and use our ND filters from Freewell, the new ones that are a split ND filters. Also, as you can see, I was recording my screen. When I took the ND filter off, you can see how it's overexposed. And then when I put the ND16 filter on, the exposure came down, and that kind of gives you an idea of why we use ND filters. Don't know why they didn't come out with these in the beginning, or why DJI didn't come out with these in the beginning. It seems pretty evident that if you have a 1/2-inch sensor versus a 4/3 sensor and using the same strength ND filter, you're going to have issues. But regardless, we have what we need now. So I'm going to go and we'll do the comparison for that. Okay, so we're back. We learned some things on that round, or I did. So I had used the ND16 and I thought that's the filter I needed. But once I switched to the split ND filter, which is an ND2 filter for the zoom camera, it was overexposed, as you can see in the video. So I brought the drone back down and I switched to the ND16 filter, or the ND32, sorry, the ND32 filter for the main camera, and then it would be an ND4 filter for the zoom camera. So, and that worked. I had to bring my aperture for the main camera, which is adjustable. I had to bring that down to 4, which is actually better. Then switching to the zoom camera, which has a set aperture of 4.4, I believe. I was slightly overexposed, and I think also partly because where I was shooting at, there was a lot of white, a lot of reflection, so it looks a lot more overexposed than probably it is. It was like 0.3 overexposed, but it looked great. I'm looking forward to just shooting some videos with this and being able to have my aperture low and switching between the main camera, the zoom camera, and still having the correct exposure. I'm really looking forward to that. So love the split ND filters. Also, I'm not getting paid to review these filters. I bought all this on my own, so for what it's worth. So now my other filters that I like using and that I use, maybe not as much, but I still have it and I use them occasionally. And the first one is the Freewell ND filter with the variable stop, and it's a variable 6 to 9 stop. You can adjust it from a 6 stop all the way up to a 9 stop, and the only time I use this filter is when doing hyperlapse videos. I do hyperlapse videos quite a bit. I really enjoy them, but I always want to have my shutter speed to 1/4 so that I get a lot of motion blur, and it just creates for a smoother hyperlapse. So when you bring your shutter speed down to 1/4, you are allowing a lot more light in. So you need a lot stronger stop in order to make up that difference. I'll actually go out and we'll just do a quick preview of it and show you what that looks like. Okay, we're back from testing that. As you can see, with the 1/4 shutter speed, it was way overexposed. I think I had it at a 6 stop where it was fine then. But that's basically the only time I use that ND filter. So moving on to the last ND filters that I have, this is the Freewell as well. ND filters that has the wide angle and anamorphic lens. And then it also has the ND filters for that fit on top of the wide angle lens. I don't use this a lot. I'm going to show you some video, basically the comparison from a normal video, like the normal angle, I guess the default angle, and then I'm going to put the wide angle lens on from this Freewell. I'm also going to have probably the ND32 filter on top of it, and you can see kind of the issues that I have with the wide angle lens and the Freewell, but I just don't use it that much. But anyway, let's go do a comparison, and then you can make up your mind if you think the wide angle lens is worth it or not. So let's do that. Okay, we're back. Yeah, as you can see, when using the wide angle lens, for some reason the sides of it darkens. Like it's just a little, it's hard to see a little bit, and it was hard to see in this example because the sun was behind the clouds a little bit. But if it's sunny, and I've noticed the stronger ND filter that you use, the more that it shows up. So by the time you crop that out, I've just found that it's just not worth it to me for that little bit extra wider angle, I guess. The other thing that is kind of a small thing, but it's more of an irritation. I'm going to turn off the drone here. With the wide angle lens and the ND filter on it, which I guess now it's set, but basically like it'll do that. Like this will just continue to, just a small thing, but it just bugs me and I don't like it. But anyway, that's my review of that. So yeah, as a whole, just my summary of my reviews, what I use is the split ND filters from Freewell and the Freeway adjustable ND filter, the 6 to 9 stop. Primarily, I only use this. If you don't do hyperlapses a lot, then you can probably get away with only these ND filters. Basically, these ND filters have made the DJI ND filters that you get with the combo package kind of obsolete. They're just not, I don't have a use for them. Now that we have the split ND filters, I mean, I guess the only time that wouldn't be necessary to get these is if you would never have intention or don't use the zoom camera, which why not just get an Air 2S drone if that's the case. So anyway, that's my review. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, like it, subscribe, and we'll talk to you later. Thank you for watching.